Today on the table, I'm bringing you the Keltec PF9 and the Ruger EC9S. You will see a price split of about $29. The Ruger, actually, surprising to me enough, is $29 cheaper than the Keltec. Specs, they're very similar. Length, they're almost identical. Height, without magazines, they're almost identical. The Ruger is fatter because it's got the safety toggle on the side. The Keltec is shaved nice and smooth. And the Ruger is a heavier firearm. So with a $29 split, is it worth paying the extra money for the Keltec, or should you just go with the Ruger? And that's what I'm hoping to answer in this video. So what are the disadvantages of either firearm? Well, one major disadvantage to the Ruger, the sights suck, and they're milled into the slide. You can't do anything about them. The Keltec, you get a nice 3-dot system. The Keltec, you do have an accessory rail. The Ruger, you do not. The construction of the firearms, without a doubt, I think the Ruger kills the Keltec. Just like the overall look of it, how it's put together, your pins fit nicely, it feels like a higher quality material. The Keltec, the pins are too short on this particular firearm. They're all drifted over too far on this side of the receiver, so they're not even centered in there. The material just doesn't look as good, except for the finish on it. This particular Keltec is offering a parkerized finish. Now, you can get blued finish firearms, and they are cheaper. The Ruger is a blued firearm. Parkerization definitely holds up to rust better than bluing. Controls. The Keltec, from your normal shooting position, you can hit the mag release, but it's really tough. Which is fine because it's a carry gun and hopefully you're not changing magazines. The magazine going in and out, it gets stuck right there. Like, really stuck. I have to jam on this thing to get it to go in. I don't feel it should be that way. Ruger magazine coming out from your normal shooting position, very easy to hit. Going back in, butter smooth. Trigger on the Ruger is metal. Trigger on the Keltec is plastic. Slide release, very hittable with your Keltec. Slide release on the Ruger. Now, I know it says in the owner's manual it's not a slide release, it's just a slide and stop, but they literally put texture on the top for you to push down on. I can't get it to go. I have to pull the slide back and slingshot it, which is nice for the Keltec because for whatever reason, if something happens to your hand, you can still function this one-handed, as long as you can figure out how to get the magazine in, which is going to be tough. The Ruger, because the slides have a ramp, I guess you would call it, in it, this would be next to impossible to rack off your clothes. Even trying to hook it on your belt is very tough. The Keltec, you do get a little 90. Not much of a 90, but a little one. So this is going to assist you in racking it. I can almost completely get it. Got it there. So you could technically run this one-handed, again, if you can get the magazine to insert. The Ruger has a manual safety. On a concealed carry gun, my personal opinion, unless it's a single action only, I don't see a reason for a manual safety, but how it comes off is pretty nice. Just a quick swipe of your thumb. Very easy to do. Putting it back on, you pretty much gotta use your other hand or swipe the firearm this way, but you're gonna wanna be aware of that because, like, let's say you're at an indoor range and you have to put it on safety when you're done shooting. If you don't take your hand and push it up, it's very possible people in the other booths you've just swiped now. So that's something you're going to want to be aware of. Disassembly of the firearms on both of them. The only way I can describe it is like playing with Legos, but miserable. They're terrible. Both of these need to go back to the drawing board for disassembly. The Ruger, there's a complicated process. You have to take the magazine in. You have to take the magazine out, then you have to do some stuff with the safety, and then you got to shake it all about. And then this little door right there will come down, and then you get the pin to come out, and then it comes apart. The Kel-Tec, it's not much better. I do consider it better, though. You got to lock the slide to the rear, then you got to take a bullet, pop out this little pin, and then it disassembles. Like I said, both of them are horrible. Now, the Ruger's a striker fire handgun. The Kel-Tec's a double action only. Trigger brake. The Ruger, it's alright. It's short, it's light. Your reset's right there. Kel-Tec. Definitely has a longer trigger brake. It's heavier. I do believe the Ruger brake's cleaner. Now the Kel-Tec you have to be aware because there's a false reset. It's right there, so if you're trying to bounce off the reset, or if that's what you normally do with firearms, it's definitely going to screw you up. The real reset's right there. The Ruger, when the trigger breaks, the slide's moving. And the key to accuracy is repeatability. Because your sights are moving, even before the trigger breaks, I definitely think that's going to affect your accuracy. I don't know how much it's going to affect your accuracy. And will the improved trigger over the Kel-Tec make a difference with this sights moving? I don't know. I kind of feel like I would be more accurate with the Ruger, especially if I were to put a time crunch on it. If I was trying to really pound out cartridges fast, I think I would most definitely be more accurate with the Ruger. Nice and slow, it'd probably come out in the wash. Slide serrations on both firearms are very nice. They go down in the proper direction. The Kel-Tecs are pretty skinny, and I'm not feeling a lot of traction on my fingers. The Ruger is okay. A nice big gapping in there. There's some good 90s to grab on. The overall look of the firearm, without a doubt, I believe the Ruger looks better. Now, I think the Kel-Tec looks cool with the accessory rail and the milled slide. And the accessory rail is nice because, say you do have a weapon light on you that you use for a flashlight, if you ever had to use it, you can just attach it to the firearm. The Ruger, you're stuck with going with one of these, which is extremely fatiguing. Not recommended for anything other than just a quick check, and then you're done with your flashlight. So that's pretty nice that the Kel-Tec has that. Is it really necessary on a concealed carry gun? Probably not. What the firearms come with, the Ruger, you get an owner's manual, which, like, every single page on this has lawyer speak on there, so ways they can get out of having to pay you should you get injured. It even says not to hit the firearm on the rear because it can set off a cartridge. So it's kind of like, I would like an owner's manual with all that lawyer speak. And they even go as far to have a magazine disconnect. Which, really? Then they put a safety on it, like, really? It's a concealed carry gun. But we're going to move past that. Then you get a fake magazine, which will assist you in the disassembly process, because it is pretty complicated. A pretty awesome sticker, like, boom. Mail-in rebate, other information, other Ruger accessories. Range flag, it's even got a little Ruger logo on there. Pretty awesome. Firearms lock. And a flush mount base plate. So if you want to run just a little bit more concealed, you can. It's going to look something like this. The Kel-Tec, you do get a hard case instead of a cardboard box, which, okay, that's a step forward, but it's just folded plastic in the back. This thing's garbage. It's going to have to get thrown away almost immediately. And it's not even a fit size to the firearm, so the firearm just flops around in there. So in this particular case, I would probably like the cardboard box because this would be easier to recycle. But you do get a really awesome Kel-Tec sticker. owner's manual, which just has your basic information in there. No lawyer speak nothing. This is how to run the firearm. This is what you can do. A garbage gun lock. Another pretty awesome Kel-Tec sticker. And you also get a flush mount base plate for the Kel-Tec. Just gonna make it look something like that. And a generic range flag. Something else that the Ruger can do that the Kel-Tec can't is it's got grooves cut in there so you can rip a magazine. There's plenty of surface area to pull on this. I don't know if I could pull it hard enough to where like I could totally break the magazine button, but I can get a lot of force. Kel-Tec, smooth. So, what would I pick? The Ruger or the Kel-Tec? Well, I've dealt with Ruger's customer service, and it's just been off the chain awesome. There's two companies I rate really high, Mossberg and Ruger. I have not dealt with Kel-Tec, but I've seen a friend deal with them back in 2013, and it was kind of shady. Their inventory they can't seem to keep stocked, and just how the firearms are put together, it seems like something somebody would do with a 3D printer and a mill they got in their garage. There's a frickin' Allen screw holding your extractor. So that makes me question the Kel-Tec. But as far as specs, it kills the Ruger. It's a skinnier firearm, it's far lighter, they both sport the same capacity. It's a touch cheaper, but you could get the blue version, which is cheaper, and then it would make it cheaper than the Ruger. So that's something to think about. Unfortunately, with the slide moving, I'm not really a fan of Ruger. And we've had a run-in with a few bad Ruger firearms. Typically the SR line, like the SR45, the Security 9, that had some serious issues. So as far as this goes, you know, it suggests that it's going to work good. I mean, you get a metal trigger, it's put together nicely. It seems like they have a lot of pride in building their firearms. Pride I'm just not seeing in the Kel-Tec. So this is how I'd break it down. If I could get some sort of guarantee that this Kel-Tec isn't going to fail me, and I could send this back so the magazine actually goes in and out without needing a hydraulic press, I would probably lean towards the Kel-Tec. It's a lighter firearm and it's going to carry you better. And that's the whole point of these two firearms, are carry firearms. It doesn't have a safety, it's got an accessory rail, it's got sights that I could change out for night sights if I wanted to. It just feels like a nicer package. If I cannot get that guarantee, which you can't because this ain't a magical world, the Ruger offers, is to the best of my knowledge, a far superior customer service. The controls work nicer except for the slide release, but it's got a magazine disconnect, it's got a safety, it's a heavier firearm, you can't change out the sights. Are the sights really that important in a concealed carry? Probably not, but I'd still like to be able to change them out. So I'm kind of up in the air. I can take the Kel-Tec, which in this particular case seems to be a superior firearm design, just poorly executed, or I could take the Ruger, which is not a very good design, but they executed it better, plus you get a better trigger, and I know the warranty is good on a Ruger. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little poll right here. Click on here and you can vote for which firearm you think is better, and people will see that and they can get the answer from the community, what they think. Or leave in the comments below which one you would pick and why. If you'd like to check out any of my other videos, click on the links up here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.